Hello, my name is Alyssa Weinstein, and for my IMRAD assignment, I chose to analyze my health as a college student. I did this by analyzing my own eating, sleeping, and television, specifically Netflix habits for 1 week, and analyze how I compare to others like me. Am I following the unhealthy path of the average college student? Introduction. Throughout high school, I tried my best to be healthy by eating right and getting enough sleep. However, at times it can be rather difficult to sustain a healthy lifestyle now that I am a full-time college student. Most of the time, I try to be mindful of what I eat and the activities I partake in, yet school and my job can interfere sometimes where I forget to eat or don't get a sufficient amount of sleep. Since I've been a freshman the past few months, I've realized my eating, sleeping, and television habits have changed. Today, major health concerns have arose for college students, including poor eating habits, television addiction, and sleep deprivation. According to University of Minnesota, good health helps students remain in school, and by attaining a degree, it tends to positively influence a young person's health throughout their lifetime. However, it seems college students overall are not going down the right path. For instance, Georgetown University says that 25% of college students have sleeping difficulties, and thus half of college students experience sleepiness throughout their school day. Also, another health obstacle students face is television addiction, specifically with Netflix. Matish Najiri says that 9 out of 10 college students use Netflix and that they lose control of their TV viewing by binge watching and studying at the same time, which has resulted in failed exams. Lastly, another major health concern among college students is healthy eating and healthy weight. About 38.5% of college students that participated in the University of Minnesota study admitted to being overweight, and 29.1% said they were either obese or close to becoming obese. Overall, the habits that students develop in college are the habits they keep for the rest of their lives, and so far, the habits of our college student population are extremely concerning. Method. So how I chose to analyze my health as a college student is I kept a journal to record data for a total of 7 days. I recorded my eating, sleeping, and Netflix habits, and at the end of each day, I would note what I had for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I would then also note how many hours I spent watching Netflix and how many hours I slept each night. Also, for when I logged my food, at the end of each meal, I would note the nutritional quality of each meal on a scale of 1 to 3, 1 being unhealthy and 3 being healthy. I judged the quality of nutrition by seeing whether it included vegetables, fruits, or any other healthy foods within the meal. Results. Throughout the 7 days, my eating habits were very sporadic and inconsistent. There would be days where I would eat both healthy and unhealthy, and there would be days where I would skip a meal. In regards to my sleep, it was rather average, but my television watching was greater than I expected. Here I have included my journal that I typed up. You can see each day I log breakfast, lunch, and dinner, sleep in hours, and TV in hours. Below each meal, you can see the numbers varying from 1 to 3. Looking at some days where I didn't even eat at all, I would place a 0 for days like Wednesday or Friday. And there would be days where I was rather healthy, such as Tuesday, or days where I was rather unhealthy, such as Saturday. And for sleep, it was pretty average. The highest amount of sleep I got per night was 9 hours, least amount was 7. And Netflix was a little bit higher than I expected it to be. The most Netflix I watched in one night was 5 hours, and then the least was 3. Discussion. Looking back on the 7 days, I would say I don't necessarily lead an unhealthy lifestyle, but I could make some improvements. For my eating habits, most of what I ate wasn't unhealthy, but there would be times where I'd suffice merely snacks as a meal, or I wouldn't even eat a meal at all. Going back, sufficing snacks as a meal, that could be seen Monday for dinner, where I just had cereal and coffee for dinner, or as I said earlier, where I wouldn't have a meal at all, such as Wednesday at lunchtime. For my sleeping habits, the hours of sleep per night fits under the average amount of sleep needed for a college student, which is 7 to 9 hours. according to Georgetown University. Lastly, for my Netflix habits, I did tend to binge watch TV shows, as Nujiri mentioned in his article, was a very common practice among college students. Therefore, now that I have completed this experiment, I can see where I need to make changes in my lifestyle. In regards to eating, I need to make sure that I actually eat a decent meal 3 times a day and not just skipping a meal or substituting a meal for innutritious snacks, as was seen on my data collection. Also, for the nutrition quality of my meals, I noticed it to be very inconsistent every day. For breakfast, the nutrition quality tended to be fairly decent, but it was my lunches and dinners that seemed to decrease in quality. For my sleeping, I would say I have a decent sleeping habit as I fall under Georgetown University's standards, and I just need to make sure I sustain those habits throughout college. Then for my Netflix habits, I need to be more mindful of how many hours per day I watch Netflix and to resist binge watching to ensure I use my time wisely for my studies and for my sleep. Overall, this assignment provided some useful insight for me concerning today's college population health and how my health compares. I would say I'm not like the majority of college students, but I do have some faults in my lifestyle, most particularly with eating and television habits. Now that I'm aware of the health of college students today and of my own health, I can be more mindful of my actions to maintain a long-lasting, healthy lifestyle. And here I've included my works cited, and that's it. Thank you.